In this meeting, we're going to go over the company settings page. So the company settings page can be found on the left-hand panel underneath settings, and then you can go ahead and select company settings. This page is pretty self-explanatory by the name, but it's important to fill everything out as we'll need this information as we continue through your training. So let's start with the first one here, company information. The company information section is the most important to fill out as we're going to be using this information throughout the entire application. You'll notice basic information like your company name, website, state, things along those lines. So make sure to get this information filled out as it'll be very important as we continue on. Next, we can move on to truck settings. So this is the address from which your delivery trucks will leave. So it's extremely important because this information will be used with our routing section. So you'll be able to set ending locations as well as starting locations for different routes. And we'll eventually create those routes on a screen later, but make sure to fill this information out as it will make a big difference with routing later. All right, so next we have purchase options. So this section is used to populate purchase orders when you create and send them to suppliers. So you'll have company name, phone number, all of this additional information here as well. So just very important if you're going to be using this for your suppliers. Next, we have SEO options. So SEO, search engine optimization. This is essentially the process of affecting the visibility on a website or a web page or when you're searched for on Google. And filling these sections out are incredibly important to help with your natural or organic search results, which essentially means your unpaid search results. So it's important to take these areas seriously because it can go a long way in boosting your natural rankings on the internet. So let's dip into keywords first, meta keywords. So be sure to use some keywords that the average person would search for on Google. Maybe think about what your customers would be searching for when they find you on the internet. So let's use the example of a produce delivery service in San Francisco. So in this section, maybe we want to write some keywords such as grass-fed, organic, produce, maybe the name of the town of delivery, farmer's market, healthy. You get the gist there. Any of those keywords that really go along with your business model. And obviously these go along with our produce delivery example in San Francisco. Great, so then the meta description, little different, but so basically your meta description is what shows up under your listing in Google. So for example, when you find your listing, it needs to be full sentences and it needs to indicate to the user like what they're about to click into. It's also a great opportunity to be keyword and phrase heavy. So you're using a lot of those keywords that might have been over in that meta keywords section. So a good example for your meta description might be, let's see, real foods delivered, real foods delivered locally. You'll want to enter your company name. So hey, maybe farm fresh produce boxes. I also like to think of this as your mission statement type thing. So, farm fresh produce boxes, pantry items, dairy, and other organic foods delivered to your door in San Francisco, California. So you get the gist there. I'm not going to fill out the rest of that. Great, and then lastly, we have the site title. So this is the title of that's in your browser tab. So, be sure to be as specific as possible. So let's use that example that where that Real Foods company. So, hey, Real Foods, what's the name? Foods local and organic produce boxes. Delivered in San Fran. So, make sure this is concise, but also a good example, with that long text in your browser bar. Great. So now moving towards sort options. We have these set to default for most companies that we work with, but our team can help you with this during your different training sessions if you require, different types of sorting options. These basically allow you to control the default sorting order of your data for numerous areas in the system, whether that's bagged items, inventory, any of these options along here. So let us know if you have any questions about this, and we'll be happy to help you adjust them if needed. All right, so next let's go on to delivery options. So the information in this section is what will appear on your website when your customers enter their addresses. So this first one, we deliver to your area. This is a pop-up that your customers will see when they enter a valid address that's in the delivery area. So we have this set to display default information, but you can update this as well so it goes along with your branding and messaging, and we certainly encourage you to do that. Then very similar to the we do not deliver to your area. So this will pop up when customers enter an invalid address that's not in the delivery area. And we have this set to display this default information. And obviously it can be updated as well. So you can do your custom branding there as well. And then we also have the option for we do not deliver to your area yet. So this is when, as you can see, a sign up is allowed. So maybe this person's on the cusp of your delivery and you guys are currently expanding or gauging interest for where you could expand to. So you can customize all this information, but then it'll allow your customers to still sign up even though they do not get deliveries in the area. Lastly, we have a checkout congratulations message. So you can go ahead and write the message there. This text displays when customers click the view order and then checkout button. So you can go ahead and edit this. DBP does not have standard checkout, but this is the text that customers would see when you would print the invoices. So we have a default text in this field, but obviously it can be updated as well. Then lastly, we have a message on my referrals page, so you can adjust this for referrals that you may have. So lastly, you're just gonna go ahead and press the save button and you are good to go. So let us know if you have any questions about this company settings page. It is very important, and one of our project managers can go over any section or all sections if needed, if there's any confusion.